everybody. How are y'all doing? Welcome to my kitchen this evening. I am making something very unique. Now, you have to apologize. Today's kind of an anniversary day. This is my original first apron. See how faded it is? This is the first apron I had when I had my restaurant 10 years ago. I still have it. And even my buckle up here is a little melted because I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, so y'all are special because you're in my home apron. So anyway, I'm in my home apron. Y'all are with me in it. Okay, so today I am going to show you guys something unique that you're not going to expect in my Italian kitchen. But you know, sometimes you got to Italianize things and you got to change things up a little. So this is a dish I make with an ingredient that usually, okay, I won't use the word hate. Pasquale said it's too strong of a word, but I'm going to use the word dislike very much. Tofu. I'm not a fan of tofu. I love Indian food, can't stand tofu. Asian food, I can't stand tofu. But my recipe, I like. So I'm going to show you how to change it up once in a while, have a different protein, and it actually tastes good. Actually, I was going to say it tastes Italian. All right, so first things first. So what I'm going to do is, now, first thing you need is firm tofu. Because the firm stuff, it's going to mimic, I guess mimic like the consistency of like ground beef or something. All right, so I'm going to use this little bin here to get some of this water out because it is watery. Okay, and I'm going to pop this in. Actually, I'm just going to use my clean hands that I just washed. And I'll use this for the water now, so I don't have it sitting in front of me. Okay. Yes, I'm doing this part right in front of you. This is a very quick recipe. It's a very easy recipe, and it's something that you can do. And honest to goodness, don't tell anybody what it is until after they've eaten it. Just tell them they're your little Italian patties. They'll say, oh, what is it? Oh, you know, Italian recipe. I actually have 4 packages I was going to try to use up, but I think, you know what, we're going to make all of them. I may not make them all with you, but I'm going to go ahead and do it all because this will be dinner and snacks tomorrow. Tofu meatball patties. So you see there's a lot of contradictions in that title. They are tofu and they are patties. They are not meatball. And they're not meat and they're not ball. But anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to just crunch it all up. And it comes out looking almost, if pretend it was brown or reddish brown, that it looks like, you know, ground turkey or ground chicken or something like that. Or ground beef. So first thing you're going to do is squish it all up. And I know this bowl's probably not big enough. I may end up having to get a bigger bowl. This is a tip. Always use bigger than you think you're going to need because it makes everything easier. Okay, so we've got our ground up, chopped up, squished up tofu. Okay. Now, I have breadcrumbs that I made. I blended them in the food processor behind me. These are made with whole grain bread, and they're made with a couple slices of Ezekiel bread, which is all like sprouted grains. So I'm just going to, and again, there's no official recipe to this. So I'm just going to, since I made all, throw them all in. That was approximately, wait a minute, I did 3, 4, 6, 9, probably 9 slices, 9 or 10 slices of bread, okay? So, got this in here. Now, I'm gonna this is, easily 1.5 cups of grated cheese. Throw it all in because the cheese is what makes it. We are going to use some salt and pepper. Even though there's cheese in there, there's a lot of tofu in here. It has no, not like meat, it has no, you know, saltiness to it. I'm going to put some black pepper because I like black pepper. We're going to put in a little bit of my Italian oregano. Gee, what does this look like to you guys? This is almost my meatball recipe. Exactly. Now, we're going to go in my little garlic pan here, garlic dish. We need a couple of cloves of garlic, fresh garlic. Now, in a pinch, you can also use granulated garlic, but since I have the fresh and I have a very nice peppered chef garlic press, we're gonna put some fresh garlic in. All right, put that back in there. And we're gonna scrunch up some garlic in here. So this thing is awesome. Skin and all. Wait a minute. Then you cut it all off here. And then watch this. Pops right out. Of course, I'm gonna, there we go. Look at that, skin. Boop. And another one. I love doing the garlic press. It's like this really awesome, like, I don't know, satisfying feeling. So basically I did like 1 clove per thing, like per package of, you can kind of judge it that way if you want to put like a measure, like how much do you put in? Honestly, it's up to you, but you know, you can kind of play with it. We're going to get all that garlic mixed around in the cheese. Before I get myself into the wetness of this, what else I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some eggs. Since I did 4 of these, I'm going to do 1 egg per container, just the same way I do when I'm making my meatballs. I do 1 egg per pound of meat. I'm watching this very carefully because I'm not doing this in another container like I usually do, but I'm watching no shells, doing this very carefully. All right, there we go. And last but not least, usually I put some fresh herb in. So I like using fresh parsley. I actually don't have any today. I was going to buy some and it looked really yucky at the store, but I have all this beautiful fresh basil. So I'm going to do some fresh basilico. And basically I'm just going to roll this up and just chop it up. Usually I don't like cutting my basil, but I want this to be in little pieces because I want it to kind of spread around. Usually I tear it when I put it in my sauce and stuff, but this I want it to be a little bit more spread around in the mixture. So that's when I'll cut it. And of course I have that wonderful, beautiful Italian oregano in here too. All right, here comes the fun part, which of course I'm gonna have to stop and wash my hands after. But just like you're doing with anything else, you're gonna mix this all together. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my stove on now so my pan start heating up. And no, we're not making all of these on camera tonight, because I'm not going to make you sit here all this time, but we are going to make some, and we are going to taste them. So this is totally not an Italian dish, but I took a non-Italian ingredient and I Italianized it. And guess what? Italianized things, they are good. And you know what though? I think it needs a little more garlic, but what I'm going to do is just to make life easier. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I can, because that's the wet hand. I'm going to put in a little bit more garlic. I'm going to do it by way of the garlic powder. Okay. So I got fresh garlic, a little extra granulated garlic, just to give it a little bit more kick. And this looks like it's all nice and mixed. So now all you do, now you got to be careful with these. Do not make them into meatballs. If you don't like tofu, like I don't like tofu, don't make them into balls because the inside then is too tofu-y. And I don't like it. I don't like the texture. But if you make them into little balls and then flatten them into a patty, haha, that's the good stuff. So now my pan is getting warm. I'm going to give it a nice little coat of olive oil. What you want this on, you don't want it on high because it'll burn them, but you want it on like medium to medium high. I always start on high just to get the pan hot. And now that I got the oil in there, I'm going to turn it down to like a medium. Let the oil get hot for a second. So then all we're going to do is what you do. But you got to make sure it's all broken, all the chunks of tofu, make sure they're fully broken up. And squeeze them together. Make sure they're all fully squeezed together. And then you're going to make a nice little flat patty. Now, if there's a chunk in it like that, got to squish it. Don't like chunks. But that's me. You might like chunks. If you like chunks, go ahead. Yeah, that smells good. Okay, let's see if this is ready. All right, turn that up higher a minute. Okay, let's see how perfectly round and flat I make them. Make it nice and make it nice and tight so it doesn't fall apart. Because this doesn't have fat in it to make it, you know, stick together. It's just the egg that helps stick it together. If you ever feel like your eggs are small, an extra egg in here doesn't hurt at all. It's actually not even a bad thing. Now we're going to put like 4 or 5 in here and we'll go around and make, because you don't want to crowd the pan. Anytime you're cooking anything in a pan, you don't want to crowd the pan because then it cools the oil. Now this stuff is cold because these were in the fridge. And you don't want them to be, I don't know what it is, man. To me, the kitchen is so many senses. And like, there's obviously the smell and the sight. But to me, even the sounds of the sizzle, oh, it excites me. Okay, we got 5 beautiful ones in here. So if you are totally surprised that I'm making a tofu dish, write in there, surprise. Write in the comments, surprise. And if you're watching for the first time, do me a favor and write first time. So you test the first one. Oh, okay. So it's not quite golden enough yet. These little spatulas work really good for things like this because when you're dealing with things that are kind of fragile until they're cooked, they're kind of fragile. A big spatula like this one would get it would hit too many things and it would get in the way and break things. So you don't want a big spatula. So if you have a little one, it work really good for things like this. It's like basil all over my hands. It's like perfume. Oh. All right, that's a nice color. Okay, so I don't know if you can see these, but they're beautiful golden brown. Now, ideally, if you want to do these right, get a nice paper towel, put them on a paper towel, and like this first one that I turned, usually you want to try not to turn them more than once. So these are a little bit fragile-ish, but if you get them, let them sit long enough so that they get a nice crisp on them, they hold together really nice. Isn't this cute? Nice little patty. Let's move this big old knife out of the way. Slide that under there. Okay. There's another one. Look at this beautiful golden. And here we go. So these are my tofu meatball patties. I love it because it doesn't make sense. Tofu is not meat, and these are patties, not balls, but these are my tofu meatball patties. So you can have them plain just like this as a side dish. You can have these make a great, like, you know, appetizer, you know, finger food for a party. And I guarantee you, nobody realizes that these aren't meat. Because, you know, you make them nice and flat, it just looks like chicken or turkey. They're good. It's tofu and it's good. Who'd have thunk? But they're hot. So anyway. Tofu meatball patties. Tofu Italian style. I really think you'll like these. It's also, you know what else I gotta tell you? It's kind of fun fooling the hardcore carnivore who would like, no way, tofu or anything like that. Make them, don't tell them what it is. Very few people, nobody's allergic, you know, unless somebody's allergic to soy, but you know, it's a good alternative. It's just, you know, I do them like once or twice a year maybe, and it's just something different to do. It's a different form of protein. Really good for Lent. You can have these on Friday and you're good to go, and it tastes meaty. Tastes like an Italian meatball, just flattened out. So I hope this helps bring your family to the table. It's a nice appetizer. It's a nice side dish. And this is just one of the many ways that we do things in Italian anyway. For example, this is a type of a polpette. A polpette is a little fried ball. It can be a meatball. It can be made out of breadcrumbs and eggs. This is similar to that, except I make them a little flatter because I don't like that texture on the inside. Anyway, but you will love these, I guarantee. Now, if you want to do something extra, a little special with it, get a big spoonful of pesto and mix it in some kind of a cream. So you can do it in like a creme fraiche, or a little bit of, you know, thickened panna if you're in Italy, or like with some bechamel sauce, or even sour cream, okay? Mix a big spoonful of pesto in it. That's all you need to do. And you have a little pesto dipping sauce. These are great with a little dab of that on top. Woo! Very nice. Very nice. So, anyway, try it. Let me know if you do. And make sure you let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching, please make a comment so I know you've been there, because I can't see because I'm just behind the camera. All the writing's on the other side. And anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Okay? Mwah! Love you guys. I'll see you later. Ciao. I'm going to walk this way.